Welcome to Friday Fish Facts. I'm your host, Ron DeSantis. Today I want to talk about why I quarantine my fish. There's two reasons that I quarantine my fish. Number one, if my fish looks sick, then I'm going to take it out, put it in my quarantine tank, and then I'm going to treat it accordingly. Number two, when I get new fish, and that happens all the time. And why do I want to quarantine my fish at all? Well, number one, I don't want to pay all the medication to quarantine something like this 90-gallon tank here when it's going to cost a lot less to quarantine a 20-gallon or a 10-gallon like that.
I've just acquired some more clown loaches that I want to add to this aquarium, but I'm not going to put them in right away. I don't want my existing group of clown loaches to get sick. The thing about clown loaches is they're very susceptible to things like ick and internal parasites. The bottom tank is my 10-gallon tank that is my quarantine tank. Right now it just has Black Widow the betta living in it, keeping it nice and cycled. But I take Black Widow out when I need to put a sick fish in here. But we're going to do something different for these clown loaches. Recently acquired this 20 long and 20 high tank, so I'm going to put them in this 20 high tank down at the bottom. There's just a few random guppy fry in here and a few leftover albino plecos that I didn't even know I still had that are kind of swimming around in here. So they're going to get the clown loaches and I'm going to medicate this tank right here. You might be able to see one of these clown loaches over here has got a sunken stomach, which tells me that in my experience, it's got an internal parasite.
Normally when I say I quarantine my new fish, that just means I put them in a tank and I observe them for a week, and after that week I move them into the tank that I want them to be in, unless it's a new tank for them. Now clown loaches are a different story. They're the only fish that I medicate even if I see nothing wrong with them. Now I used to always just do the ick to start with, which I use this brand here, the API, which I think is still available in Canada. This is the one that I use, and I've used it. They've already been treated with the ick, even though I didn't see signs of ick, I did it anyway. So I use the API General Cure just for clown loaches, even if I see nothing wrong with them. In this case, I did see a sunken stomach, so I know that they're going to have an internal parasite. Now the problem with the General Cure in Canada, this is my last box, and I can't get it anymore. So I wasn't going to use it, but since I saw something that had it, I decided to use it. The third one that I would normally use is erythromycin. Again, can't get this one in Canada. I don't see any visible symptoms, so I'm going to save this box. But I know that the UK has also banned some medications, as well as Canada, so I'm curious to know what you use down in the comments instead of being able to use the General Cure erythromycin. Some ick medications no longer can get. Even Secam Paragard, which I was using and buying even in the summertime, I can't get anymore. So I'm going to keep those clown loaches in that quarantine tank for a while, much longer than the 1 week that I would normally observe because of the sunken stomach. Now I've finished treating the ick medication like I said I was going to, and now I'm going to start doing the General Cure. I don't want to do two at once because I just don't want to overload those fish with too many medications. As far as the ick medication goes, I'm only using half the dose because they are scaleless fish. I have used full doses on clown loaches in the past, and the biggest one that I ever had died, and I think it was because I over-medicated. Join me next week for another edition of Friday Fish Facts.